Okay, I am going to show you how to do a flower, and you just take like a cotton poly or polyester type fabric. It looks kind of satiny, and this is the best for curling the edges. Anyway, first you start out with a pattern. You just cut out, like, kind of looks like a little daisy. And this one is about the width of my hand, and it makes a flower about that big. And so what you do is I just folded my fabric over 3 times, so I would get, well, it was in half first, and then so I can cut out 6 at a time. So that cuts down on your time of cutting. So, but just if you do that, just make sure you put it down and then put a pin in each of the petals so that it doesn't shift. So anyway, once you've got them cut out, whoops, then you burn the edges. And I want it to curl forward, so I'm going to burn the red side instead of the dark side. And I found that it works faster with a taper candle because you get a taller flame, but I went through all my taper candles making my bouquet. So I'm using a little tea light, and it takes a little longer, but that's okay. So you just kind of burn the edges and it curls. And then sometimes I don't want it to curl so much, so I'll just pull this over the flame a little bit, and it just kind of crumbles it in a little bit. That's not the word. Anyway. Okay, so repeat this with all of your flowers, and I do 6. The one that I learned I did 5 on, or it said to do 5, but I wanted it a little more full, so I put 6. So, and then also sometimes it will maybe start on fire, so you just kind of watch careful and just blow it out. But that kind of gives it some different shapes, makes it look kind of dried, and so that's fun. Okay. Alright, so now we've got our mound of flower petals. So what you'll do is just stack them on top of each other and make sure that they don't, that the petals aren't right on top of each other, so they're kind of going in a swirl. Okay, now we're just going to carefully pick them up and then take some needle and thread, and I quadrupled my thread just to make it extra tough so it doesn't break. And just go up through all the layers and then back down. And sometimes you have to be careful because these will snag on the petals. So anyway, I take a couple stitches and then pull it tight, and it will kind of pucker and start to form shape already. See that? Okay, and then I'm just going to put a couple stitches on the back side so that it will stay like that. And then we're going to find our center again. And so this is kind of a peony is what we're doing. So we're going to take one of the top flowers, and we're just going to start at the base of it and go up the side. Just take some stitches. And this doesn't have to be perfect because, there I go again, catching all my flowers. And then go kind of up to just the right side of the top there. and then go straight down into the center of the flower. You want to be careful on the back too, so that you don't snag some of the petals and make them short. Okay, so then that kind of pulls that down in, and it makes a little inside of the bud. So then we'll go to the next one. And we'll do the same thing for the first 3 or 4 petals. So there we have our peony starting to form. I like to do 3 or 4 of these tighter centers. So there we've got a pretty good little center going. And then the second layer, we're just going to go up through the center of the base of it, and then we'll go up about 1/3 of the way up, and then we'll take a stitch sideways across the flower. Can you see that? And then we'll take another stitch back down through the center of the flower, just about where you came up through from the bottom. Be careful not to catch our petals on the back side there. And then that will shorten, but not as much, because the peony is tighter in the middle, and then it just kind of gradually gets out. So we'll do that for maybe 5 of them. Alright, so now we've kind of got the petals where we want them. Some of them are just going to kind of go their own way, and that's fine because peonies are kind of wild like that. So that just makes them look all the more realistic. So as I went back further into the flower, as I got back further into these petals, I took less and less of a deep stitch so that they're not, you know, so it kind of tapers down. And some of them are still, like this one's kind of wild and tall, and if you don't like that, you can go back and re-stitch it down. So, but I think it's fun just to give it a kind of a natural wild look. And then just stitch it off, and you have a pretty petal flower. One thing I forgot to mention is you can do different sizes. If you want them bigger than that, just make them bigger. Just make sure that your centers are not more than that so that they come in, because it's hard to make the petals go where you want them to if they're not. This is the size that I did for the boutonnieres that I made, and they turned out pretty fun too. So anyway, good luck, have fun. So we finished our flower, and anyway, for more fun ideas for weddings or flower arranging, stuff like that, check out my blog at lovelies.blogspot.com. That's LOVE-ILIES.blogspot.com. Thanks.